As a silver stacker and a true believer in having physical possession of precious metals, I'm starting to see a friction growing in our community about the topic of alternate forms of wealth retention. So I would like to take a couple of minutes to broach this subject and to provide my perspective. I believe that during the impending global financial collapse, it will be absolutely essential to retain your wealth outside of the current fiat system. If you don't find a way to do this, then you will probably lose just about everything you have. The question is where to put this wealth and in what form do you convert this wealth so that it will be safe from this global financial disaster that is about to happen. In order for me to find the answer to this question, I needed to do a little research, and here is what I discovered. There have been many concepts of wealth and accepted forms of money throughout history. Everything from amber, beads, cowries, drums, eggs, feathers, gongs, ivory, jade, leather, oxen and pigs, salt or rice, vodka, wampum, whale's teeth, and even bat guano, just to name a few. So the form that money or wealth can take is clearly not the same for everybody, which makes it almost impossible to define money in terms of its physical form. Basically, money can be considered to be anything that is widely accepted for making payments and accounting for debits and credits. Therefore, any definition of money must be based on its function. Functions such as it can be used as a unit of account. It is accepted as an item of worth. It is used as a medium of exchange. It's used as a means of payment for goods and services. It works as a form of IOU for transactions to be paid in full at a later date. It is a means of wealth retention. These roles are currently being fulfilled by the world's global fiat system today. But this monetary system is failing fast and it's about to collapse. In order to avoid your own financial demise, you will need to transfer your wealth out of this failing monetary system into something that will retain its value until another stable monetary system is established and a solid form of commerce for the exchange of goods and services can be created. If you think about it, specifically, what we use for an exchange of goods and services is not necessarily relevant to the monetary system. History is evidence of that. It all boils down to what is readily accepted as a measure of value. Whether it is a fiat paper note, metal coin, a shiny bead, or a pretty shell, if they are perceived to have value, then they do have value. Perception is reality to those who perceive it. If a society values something as a currency, it really doesn't matter if you value it or not, because the fact is that it is accepted as something of value, and that is a reality that cannot be denied. A quick analogy. If you get stranded on an island in the middle of the Pacific, and the indigenous people use seashells as a form of exchange, that 1 ounce gold coin that you happen to have in your pocket will hold absolutely no value to them whatsoever. So, you better head down to the beach and start looking for shiny shells if you want to survive in their society. It is a well-established fact that adaptation is the key to survival. Those who refuse to adapt are quickly left behind. Now, please don't confuse adaptation with jumping on board the first fad that comes along. That is not adaptation, that is just foolishness. Making smart, sound, well-informed decisions is what I'm talking about. As a silver stacker, I believe that my decision to accumulate physical precious metals is a very smart, sound, well-informed decision, and I don't think that anyone could shake my resolve about it. But is it the only substitute for retaining wealth during a global monetary meltdown? Could there be other alternatives that could also serve to retain your wealth or even increase your wealth? We are about to be faced with a complete global monetary reset that is most likely going to occur in our lifetime. Some have referred to this as the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. It seems reasonable to me to not only protect my wealth the best way that I can, but it would seem foolish not to try to use this unique historical time to position myself to profit as much as I possibly can. Why let a potential opportunity just pass me by? After all, we are talking about survival here. These are not decisions made on a holiday vacation, but potentially life and death decisions if the worst case scenario happens. I refuse to be a sheep in the herd being led by the shepherd, and I firmly believe that anyone who is and understands the concept of silver stacking is also a survivor by nature and will do whatever they think is required to survive, even in the most austere circumstances. This is what makes us unique and allowed us to be able to unveil the curtain, to be illuminated about our world and aware of how factions are controlling the masses in order to create this global debt slave society. I believe it to be prudent to explore all options and opportunities that are available to me which might allow me to survive or even possibly thrive during this very tense economic time. Silvertorch 66 now has a new website, so go check it out at silvertorch66.com. It has silver stacking videos, bullion posts, a large picture gallery, a music room, and even some silver for sale. Thank you to everyone who supports the Silvertorch 66 channel.